Hi, I'm Dominic Roach from Vibedu, and in today's video, we thought of introducing a person who represents a very prestigious university, that too medical university in the US and in the Caribbean. We have with us Mr. Satya, who is representing Trinity Medical Science University in the Caribbean and in the US. Hi, Satya.
Hello.
Welcome to Vibedu.
Thank you.
And today, we just wanted to tell our students like there are much more prospects in medicine abroad in Trinity University where you are representing. So we just wanted to give some updates about your university, your country, and what is the procedure and the fee structure for the students and for the subscribers, so that they get aware, they know about your university also.
Certainly, that's a lot of questions in one question. To tell you by and large what Trinity School of Medicine, for some of the students, the very concept of the Caribbean med schools could be something new for parents as well as students. This school actually, the main reason, if one studies here, to become a doctor in the United States of America. Now, what it means in the medical field to become a doctor in the USA, then with that license, they can practice in any country in the world. That's the value of becoming a US doctor. If one wants to study medicine, let's say in the USA, in North America, mainland North America, what is the chances of an Indian student or an international student to get a seat in North America is extremely slim. It's nobody's fault.
Yeah.
It's not their fault or the university's fault. It's just that the number of seats available in a North American medical university is limited. Even to date, it's still the same. So it's only about 1% seat allocated for international students. Then you can imagine for an Indian student to get a seat in North America, how difficult it is. The chances are very slim. For this reason that the Caribbean Med Schools concept was born way back 46 years ago to help students, North American students who could not get a seat in North America, to help them, this concept of the Caribbean schools was born. Of late, like 20 years or so, a lot of international students learned about it. They offer a pre-medical program just after a kid after 12th standard can pursue medicine, get into a 5-year program like we offer at Trinity. They do a one-year program of pre-medical year, which is the foundation program, to get into the MD program, which is nothing but our equivalent to our MBBS program. They call it MD, Doctor of Medicine. Once they complete the MD program, they get into the residency program, which is the PG program, what the Americans call it as a residency. It's just the terminology difference. Once they complete the residency, and finally they apply for the US board certified doctor's license. When I began, that is the license which is valid to practice in any country in the world. I said it pretty quickly, but this is the whole concept of becoming a doctor in the US. Now, you may ask me, why should one become a doctor in the US? I will only say, if you have a kid after 12th standard, if you're aiming at getting into a deemed university in India, for example, it will cost like 22 lakhs per annum.
Yes.
So if you spend that kind of money at Trinity School of Medicine, you will eventually become a doctor in the US. Then the whole world is in front of the student, whether you want to continue practicing medicine in the US or Australia, or South Africa, New Zealand, any part of the world. If you want to come back to India, you're more than welcome. But the good news is the US is in need of doctors big time. So the chances are extremely good that the student becomes a doctor in the US, gets a job, practices medicine in the US, and continue living there in the US itself. Yeah.
And is there any entrance exams like in India we have NEET for the MBBS entrance? So do you have any entrance exams like that, or is an Indian student should write any of these entrance exams to get admission in your university?
Good question. We don't need, good news is we don't need any entrance exam at all. All we look at is 10th grade transcripts, marks, and 12th marks. Minimum we say is 75%. So that is good enough. We don't require NEET per se. It's not a must from our side. Any American school does not look at it. But if one does NEET, it's well and good. Yeah.
And is there any English proficiency test to be taken?
There'll be a short interview, oral interview. By that our admissions director will decide if you require any English or not. But otherwise, nothing is required.
So, how is the program designed in your university? Would you be able to explain to us?
Certainly. We offer, as I said earlier, we offer a 5-year program. After a student, after completion of 12th grade in India, can apply for a 5-year program. First year, we call it pre-medical. We have 4 terms in that year, 1 year and 4 months. Once that's completed, it's a foundation program. In other words, they enter the MD program, Doctor of Medicine. Out of this 4 years of MD program, the first 2 years we call it Basic Sciences, which has about 5 terms. 4 terms are done at the island. The pre-medical year, 1 term in the pre-medical year, and 4 terms of the Basic Sciences is done at the campus at St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And then the student moves to Atlanta, Georgia. We have another campus at Atlanta. They finish the final term of the Basic Sciences and write step 1 USMLE, and then get into the last 2 years are called clinical sciences. It's done in teaching hospitals in the US. Our students are offered either in Atlanta or Baltimore, Maryland, either one of them. That has another 5 terms, wherein at this time, even North American students, say from the Stanford Med School or Harvard Med School, come and do their rotations at the very same teaching hospitals where Trinity students do. So after that, once they're completed, they apply for their residency program. The first 3 terms right now, it's a blessing in disguise because of COVID. It's done online now. So a student, suppose they join in September intake, they need not worry about applying for visa and all that stuff. It's done online.
So from wherever he can conduct class, attend the classes.
Absolutely. They get to stay with their family for 1 more year, for 3 terms, and then next year they move to the island.
So you're talking about September 22.
That's correct.
Okay. So only in September 2023 the student travels.
Well, as of now, it stands like that. When things improve, when COVID is completely gone, university may invite them to the campus. At the moment,
Now, Indian students traveling to Caribbean. So, how is the accommodation and how is the food? And would you be able to explain about the safety, especially for the girl child, the safety?
Very good question. The point to get to the island, St. Vincent Island, it's very, very easy actually. It's 2 flights away. It's just like going to the United States. One can go via London. There's another flight to St. Vincent Island. You straight 2 flights.
How many hours of travel?
It's about from India to London is about 8 hours, and then from London to St. Vincent it's about 12-hour flight. So they're there. It's just 2 flights away. It's not far away.
So maybe a 2-day travel.
24 hours they're there. It's pretty easy. To answer your question, how safe is it? It's extremely safe. Trust me, most of our students are about 95% are all girls that we have sent so far in the Caribbean islands. So it's extremely safe. Talking about accommodation, we have 5-star accommodation as such. An apartment, maybe usually 2 students share 1 bedroom, so they get company, they study together, whatever, and a common kitchenette is provided with microwave, stove and everything, refrigerator, you name it, all the works are there. Usually students tend to make their own breakfast, and some tend to cook their own lunch. It works out much more inexpensive. And whenever if they want to, they're busy for exams, there is food to buy. The cafeteria, they can buy whatever they want and enjoy. Also, there is grocery store, Indian groceries available.
Inside your campus?
Absolutely, yeah. They just have to order and it'll be door delivered to them. So also we have shuttles around the university, free shuttle until 2 a.m. in the morning. So somebody wants to leave the library at 2 a.m. There's a free shuttle, and security, 24-hour security is there on campus. So they just, get dropped at the hostel. It's all extremely safe. So there is no problem whatsoever. Mostly it's two people who share the accommodation.
Yeah, Satya, I forgot to ask you something. How about the visa processing? Like, no?
Yeah. The good news is for Indian passport holders, it's visa on arrival at Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. Okay. So that headache is not there for our students. Only visa that one has to, if they have it, perfect, B1, B2, or we need to apply for a UK transit visa, because as I said earlier, one flight to UK from London to Saint Vincent. So one would require a transit visa in order to go via UK. That's it. There's no other visa. Once they go to the island, it's a visa on arrival. At a later stage, when they go to the US at our Atlanta campus, they'll apply for a B1, B2 visa. That you would help them. Oh, yeah, absolutely. The university will give all the forms and documents required to apply for the visa. And since it's a student, there is no, difficulty at all.
So now we are coming to the end of the interview, and I would like to know about the fees and any scholarship for our Indian students.
Certainly. Yes. Good news is it doesn't cost much to become a doctor in the US at Trinity, if they join Trinity School of Medicine. Okay. We do offer scholarship. It depends on how early the student approaches and applies at our university, the kind of percentage that the student has. All these are taken into account by our admissions committee, and then they offer a maximum of $35,000 scholarship. Okay. So once the student gets the scholarship, it will be split into all the years, and it will be divided $35,000 into the whole 4 years program in the MD program. And then that's not the end of it. Once they join the school, if they maintain a certain amount of GPA, for example, about 3.8 or 3.85, 3.9, and so on and so forth, there are various other scholarships, Vice Chancellor Scholarship, Dean Scholarship. There are other scholarships that the university will themselves nominate a student and offer it to them. So one has to study well and prove themselves. They earn further scholarship after joining.
Yeah. So how about the fee structure? Like, tuition fee?
They pay fees every term. Every term before joining they pay the fees. It's not all at one go. So to cut the long story short, in other, including scholarship, it'll cost about 1.5 crores, including the cost of accommodation for an entire 5.4 years. Right. So yeah. And suppose the student gets more scholarship maintaining his GPA, it will further come down. Yeah, I've not included the food cost as such. We left it to individuals. It will be individual choice, so we not included that. So, which is pretty good.
Yeah, seriously. So thank you, Mr. Satya, for spending some time with us and clearing all our doubts. That is, I am sure even our students, the Indian students, would have had all these doubts. So thank you for clearing that. And we hope you guys would have understood. And if you are dreaming of doing your medicine abroad, especially in the Caribbean or in the US, we are there to help you. And people like Mr. Satya and universities like Trinity Medical Science Universities, they will help your dream come true. Thank you for watching.